are. I'm pretty sure. I know what you're thinking. Are they going to tame the one on the end? Listen,
Beast.
trust me. Tom Brown Nose on the end here is going to
Tom
act right.
Brown
to them.
Nose.
It's got to act
You trying to
right.
give everybody his name. Come on, Tom.
Welcome back to the show. As you can see, everybody's here this week. Levon Tour here, myself, Mark Edwards. Raven is back with us.
Woohoo!
And Tom Brown Nose, a.k.a. Radio.
Tom Brown Nose.
I just like the
Soon
name.
as we start talking, they gonna know who the Brown Nose is.
It's like
Yes,
the
You
name.
they
guys,
are, big
Cardi
guy.
G. Willikers.
If you missed it last week, we talked about this generation. We want to kind of stay on that kick. We talked about this generation. Raven wasn't here, but we asked the question, are we doing too much for this generation?
Speak on it, S-Girl.
Meaning giving these kids way too much and they literally become dependent. They don't feel like they need to work.
Are entitled.
Or they're entitled to everything. And I mean, kids with 10 years old have cell phones now.
Yeah.
And that's scary. But we talked about that last week. So this week, we're going to talk about something that kind of came to me. Jordan, my son, came to me and said, Dad, I really don't know why I'm in college, but I'm going to graduate and get this degree just because. So it got me to thinking, well, why do you feel like that? He says, because kids you don't need a college degree. And he's right. If you take some of the rappers, Lil Pump is a rapper now, if you heard the song.
Whoa. You can't count them.
Well,
They're not real.
Don't count the rappers
real,
then.
they're not real.
Jay-Z's
They
a
not
billionaire.
real, like real.
But Jay-Z is a different era.
Jay-Z.
Billionaire. Not too many people have college degrees.
They not real.
But you starting out.
That's not even a career.
It's
actually, it was gonna give you-
Not a technical career.
I was gonna give several examples, but as always, Tom Brown Nose jumps in before I can get to the first one.
Go ahead and get
do
us
it.
that.
Come on,
Jay-Z?
there's a rapper called Lil Pump. He's 16 years old. He had a song called Gucci Gang. He's got he's a multi-millionaire at 17. If you just want to stay on the entertainment, there's a couple of entertainers that are doing that. There's some social media people. A guy that goes to UCA right now. He made his business making paddles, boards for the fraternities and sororities.
Okay.
He sells it online. He puts his product on social media. He's got plenty of money. He stopped going to
That's
school.
him.
It's just there were.
Yeah, because like you talking about the little rapper
But,
dude.
no, because there are trades that you don't need to necessarily go to college for.
True, there's trades you don't need.
There's things that you
Back to the rapper. When his
What?
career is over, he over. He gonna be broke on the street talking about what
Not
he
all
used
of
to
them
have.
do that. No, not all of them do that because
The ones they make it
invest.
now, the ones the the ones they got now, I guarantee you, 95.9%.
But you know what? A lot of them are doing.
Listen,
A lot of them are converting that money into shoe deals.
Yeah,
They're converting
this
that
is
money
the
into
funny
other
part.
Who
things.
gonna buy
Wait a
these
minute, wait a
shoes?
minute. This is the funny part. Y'all talking about converting into shoe deals. You probably can't name one.
Kanye West has the
But
Adidas
talking about
deal.
old
you
dudes.
talking
What are you
about
talking
older.
about?
You're
Them
talking
guys
about
don't
older
count.
folks.
But
And you're talking
he's
about
got-
people
he's
that
a
went
rapper.
to college.
They don't,
Right,
they don't
but-
count.
but-
though.
Wait a minute. You said college
Wait a
isn't
minute.
necessary.
You
They don't
okay?
count.
Then let me address that. Because
Okay,
Jay-Z
address it
didn't
then.
go to college.
Jay-Z
and
went-
wait
Jay-Z
a
went to
minute.
college?
Let me finish the point. Jay-Z doesn't have a college degree.
Okay.
But his influence on the younger generation has, and the things that he's done, and has turned it into money and multi-millionaires.
Okay.
A lot of people are using that same model.
Excellent.
The younger guys.
They're not using that model because he doesn't have a business model. Secondly, how did Jay-Z get started? Since you know.
Rapping.
No, brother.
Well,
That's
how
not
did-
Jay-Z
selling drugs?
Thank you. That's how he got started. It's easy.
what he did
Brother,
before.
it's-
That's what he
look,
agreed
that's
to.
called-
That's
look,
what he
look.
did. Wait a minute,
Wait a minute.
Measured out
That's
and all
what.
that.
Agree to sell.
You was doing both.
So what's your point?
My point is, you give me $2-3 million selling dope. Yeah, I can
He
come up with a record
didn't
deal.
make $2-3
First
million.
of all,
I know he made more.
First of all,
that much money.
you talk about a different
Actually,
generation.
He did make more than that.
Huh?
We're
Yeah,
not
you don't know
talking
what
about a
you're
different
talking about.
generation.
Study yourself. before you
Jay-Z
talk.
and all them other guys, they come from hard knocks and had to earn these. You talking back to what you were saying? These are rappers that's given careers. They just given to them. They ain't did nothing on the street to prove that they can rap. Somebody saw them and said we can market that blah, 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 and put some beat behind them and put them out there. They lyrics have no no meat to it.
And
So
even-
wait,
well, watch
So
this.
when it's
And
over, when it's all
watch this.
said and done,
Wait a minute.
Let's
and-
go-
Oh, let's
wait,
listen to
wait,
Raven. Let's
wait,
listen
out
to
of
Raven.
entertainment.
Wait a
Let's
second,
listen to
wait a
Raven.
second.
Let's
And
go
even if
out
it
to
does,
entertainment for real world.
football-
Real world.
There you go, real world.
Let's go there.
Because here's the thing. You have college graduates who end up not graduating in the field that they end up in. You have half of them that end up, you see them at Burger King or McDonald's taking your order. And then the other half is sitting there in $48,000 worth of debt getting wage garnishments from Burger King. Or even if they were, let's say, teachers. If they go into the teaching field, some districts do the forgiveness.
Payback.
They do the payback for them. But they have to pay in order for them to even get a part of that plan. And when they do, even before that, they're making less than $35,000. They're making less than $35,000 as a first-year teacher, making less than $35,000.
So they making less than their student
That's a
loans.
choice in there.
I mean, their student loans
That's a
more.
choice.
Just like
that
slavery.
that's a choice. That's a choice that that's cute, but not applicable.
No.
But that's a
Thank
choice
you.
that they made to go into that field. That's just like somebody that goes into sociology.
Well, that's
Wait a
what-
minute,
that's
that's
what
a
we're saying.
choice that they're
Right,
making.
Exactly. It's
Well,
a
my
choice.
point
They
back
say,
to
I
your
don't want to
question,
be
but
in
my-
debt and I don't want to go to college.
Right,
for
but
them,
my point is this generation
so
feels
what
like
you're
they
saying-
shouldn't have to
wait a
go to
minute,
college.
okay,
Yeah, but they will
so
never be
they
a
don't go
teacher.
to college, but
They'll never be a doctor.
No, unless
That's
you're
what you're saying.
No, unless
No,
you're
you're
going
not.
into a specialized field of training.
You can be a substitute
because
teacher.
most of them, and I've talked to a friend of mine who was a former teacher and was a college professor that said, Psh, I don't even know why kids go. I think it's a big scam by the government. The government is going to give you money to go to school, and then they want you to pay it, spend the
It
rest of your life
depends on
paying
what
it back.
field you're going in.
And then as of right now, there is a big push on STEM. There's a big push for trade workers because nobody's going into welding. Nobody's going into truck
Exactly.
driving. Those kids don't realize, okay, I don't have to go into that and I can make bukus more money. And
Right
you're going to
now.
have to, and I'll have a 4 to 6 year head start on you. So they don't need to go to college for that.
Well, true. It's not. You don't need to be going to college to be a welder. You don't need to go into college to be a mechanic.
That's
yeah.
what he's saying. So some
Specialized
kids don't
trades.
need to be
I
in
mean,
college for that.
Yeah, but sometimes.
So
you
why
need to,
would you wanna
But
extend it?
sometimes,
But some
sometimes you need to understand that
careers-
you're not for college by going to college.
No, if you
I
wouldn't
don't
make
have to tell
no,
you fire to know
if
it's
you,
hot.
wait
Wait a
wait
minute,
you
wait a
weren't
minute,
making
wait a
good grades in high school. There ain't no sense in
But do
wasting
you know how
money
many
and borrowing
kids that
money
wasn't
to go to
making good
college.
grades get forced into college?
There you
Wait
go.
a minute, forcing the college.
Yeah, your parents are like, okay,
your
you go.
parents.
Yes, Tom.
Wait a
Tom,
minute,
we
wait,
know,
no,
we know,
no,
Tom.
no,
You're
that's
both
still-
of you.
It's still a choice. It don't care if your parents are saying you better go. It is still your choice.
Exactly.
Look, but that's your choice. You're talking about. You're telling people that okay, don't choose anything. It's still their choice. Your son wanted to go. Did you say you better go to college?
No, I never told him he better go to college. I always told him figure out what you want to do, and then go from there. I didn't figure out how to get there.
Okay, he does that. He figure out he wants to go into X. He goes into X, gets a 4-year degree, and find out it ain't for him. What should he do then?
Well, that's what he did.
Okay.
He started school and realized, gee, I want to go to the Fashion Institute in Chicago. Why am I going to college? And he actually came to me and said, I'm going to get the degree because I want to be an alpha like my dad, but I want to get the degree. I know Raven is saying all this stuff. He said, I want to get the degree, and I'm going to get the degree, and when I get the degree, I'm going to go to the Fashion Institute. That's exactly what he's doing.
But see, that sounds like a man that's focused. He finishes what he starts.
Well, only some.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
Only
but
some
see, that
careers
has to
need
do with
degrees
raising,
anyway.
It has to do with a good parent, upbringing.
Well, you know.
I mean, that's what it has to
So
do.
is that his real
Mom
daddy?
had a lot of
But-
influence
yeah,
on
but
her.
that his real
What?
daddy?
Huh? Yes.
Is that his real
But
daddy?
that's what. Is that baby's baby?
I'm that baby's pappy boss.
Look, but my thing about it is, these kids, like the ones that are coming up in the rap game, they'll go through their little hard knocks, whether it's the school of hard knocks, the street, or just in entertainment, which is hard itself to get a record deal to come through anything. So they're going to come with some base knowledge. Now they're going to still going to have somebody that's going to have to guide them into financial shoe deals and whatever. People that have gone to college, because if they don't, they gonna get taken every time. Just like the guys that were coming up back in the day that were getting sweat.
It's people that's gone to college that's been taken.
Well,
Wait a
just like-
second.
yeah.
Wait a
I
second.
mean, it's been people that's
Wait-
been educated that has been taken for their money.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about people that.
Talking about it. It's
Yeah,
people that-
but who?
And
what-
just so you
I'm
know,
talking
Lil
about-
Pump, Lil
y'all
Pump,
are- y'all
Lil
are cutting
Pump
me
came
off.
up. Okay, I got
Y'all
you.
are cutting me
I got you.
off.
Okay, my bad. Calm down, Tom.
No,
Tom,
don't
we got
touch
you,
me.
Tom. We got you, Tom.
Don't touch me. but what I'm saying is, you got the rapper that's gone to in the game. He's in entertainment. it's nice for him to have somebody that has gone to college, that has some experience, that guides him. Sometimes they do get with people that do rob them. That's part of the game too, whether you believe it or not. And
Yeah, I
that just
understand.
happens to the best and smartest. But the thing about it is, at least he has a better
TLC.
opportunity to, with a little education, not a lot of education, that he does. Whether he does it on his own or he goes to a formalized, whatever, any little bit's going to help him. For instance, you're comparing a rapper. Let's take somebody that has everything that he needs, a football player, basketball player. They have everything they need to guide them financially. They even have them to sit up people that whatever, and they end up broke as I don't know what.
Well,
don't
that's
they?
big. No, because they, first of all, I don't know why there's this big myth that they make all this money.
No, I'm just talking about whatever money it make more than a normal everyday
They
person.
do make more than a normal everyday
Or am I
person.
wrong? Well,
But
they
there
do.
are people that help them also, that do reach out to
And
them
you have to,
financially.
and you have to pay them.
No, but there are within the league.
They
because
actually have set up like that to do that for the league, for those individuals.
It wasn't until a little bit later though.
I'm
Y'all
talking
are
about
forgetting
now.
one main factor. You can take the kid out the street, but you can't take the street out the kid. I don't care how much guys they have. They got a mindset. This how I'm gonna do it,
And they can
and
do
you
what
wipe
they
your
want
hands
to.
up and say, "All right, well I tried."
And they
and
do
they
what
end up
they
on the
want
Some of
street
them do
broke.
it. Some of
And
them
every
most of them
time,
do it at times.
every time
And
you
that's
have
how
an
they end up
interview
broke and
with
needing
these
that money.
rappers, every time you have a personal interview with their rapper, the moment they open their mouth, you know he dumb as shit. As soon as he open his mouth, you know.
Wait,
That's
that
one
may be a
word.
point. That's one. 'Cause he did. I
one
knew
word.
he was gonna
What'd I
cuss.
say? What'd I do?
You said the S word.
No, I didn't.
Sugar Honey
Yes,
Iced
you
Tea.
did.
Well, you know they dumb as sugar on the ice tea.
Well, just so you know, Lil Pump converted his little hit song into something that I think he sold to one of the social medias to give them the rights to use it, and that's how his money just went out of control.
Okay, but have you ever seen a personal interview with this guy?
I haven't seen a personal interview with him. No,
Because the moment they talk, you can tell whether or not.
that is true.
And I've
that
seen
we
their
do
money
know.
go, psh, and their money go, psh. Take for instance, rapper 50 Cent.
He
Vitamin
reorganized.
water
Yeah, he
blew
re-
up off of vitamin
he
water.
reorganized.
Yeah,
That
he's
reorganization.
reorganizing now. It's
Yeah, I'm
called
just saying.
broke.
I'm just saying. He
Yeah,
said
it's
he
rich
did
bro.
reorganize.
He's rich bro.
But he also has a TV network that he's working on too.
That
and
Power
that's
is his
another
show.
thing.
Yeah,
But, I
somebody
mean,
else owns that. He's just the executive producer.
But I bet you he's making more money than any of us.
Than the average.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
course.
Okay, so
Look.
But then he
So
got
let-
that.
so let's go back
And
to
with that money, and with that money that
be
he's making, he
able-
also has more bills than the average person
That's
for the
true.
four
So
homes
let's-
that he
he
owns.
also
and
got that
everything else,
lifestyle.
plus the
He's
child
still
support.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
go back to the original
He's still
question.
making more than all of us.
Look, and spending
Do
more, twice
we
as more
really
than himself.
need, does this generation, do we really need a college degree anymore?
Depending on
field.
what field you're going into.
Okay, so
If
if
you're
you're a
going to be a
doctor,
doctor,
a
teacher,
lawyer,
lawyer, all
gotta
that,
have a
yes,
degree.
you need a degree.
Going into education, period, it needs to be honestly a K through 22, not college. K through 22, honestly, because you think about the development of a child, what they're learning in school. You have 8th, 9th graders that don't know 7 times 7.
Huh?
You have 8th and 9th graders.
What is that?
12th, you have 12th graders who are reading on a 3rd
Hello,
grade
hi.
level and are graduating simply because the teacher wanted to pass them along, or they didn't have enough time.
No, it
in
ain't
their
the teacher.
curriculum.
It's not the
No,
teacher.
it is.
It's the system.
It is no, it
A
is
child can
the-
only be
it
held back so
is
many times,
the
and they gotta put them
teacher.
on.
It is also the teacher because you have a differentiated instruction. It's called DI. Each individual student has an individual learning level. As the teacher, it is your job to assess each and every one of those students that come into your classroom. When you do that, you're supposed to assess how they learn, what they're learning, and the ability for them to learn that individual subject.
It is goofball.
Yes, Montoya.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
You're a teacher. You got 60 students in one class. How you gonna sit there and
Well,
evaluate
state
each other?
mandated
Well,
you
wait
don't
a minute.
have 60.
Yeah, you don't have 60 in
students.
high school.
My turn.
I don't know.
Well, maybe in your school,
No,
Tom.
y'all need to go
Where
over the
was
Then
census.
how it work? My turn.
Okay. Well, I was like, no, you don't have 60.
Yeah, oh yeah, they
So,
But you have more than one teacher in the room. when
Should
you-
have more than one teacher.
so,
should have.
Yeah.
You write them down and let me know who it is. And then I'll-
Should have.
Central.
Okay.
so how many times
That's
can you
my
hold a
turnover.
child back? How many times can you hold a child back for not getting? You know, they keep them
Fail.
Keep them
How-
from
how many
passing
years can
on.
you fail a
How many
student?
times can you hold them back?
Each district has a different how they set it up.
And then after you reach that limit of how many times you,
gotta
can hold
push
them
them
back,
forward.
then what you do with them?
You either put alternative learning.
What you saying?
She's
What's
listening.
alternative?
She's
Also,
listening.
so you're kicking them
Now,
out of
No,
the.
I'm hearing what you think is what I'm
It's
trying to say.
alternative learning, but they put them up to the next grade in alternative learning.
They do that because of it's the principal. If it's your principal that's doing that for you, but your
And you can't have a
documentation, is- 'cause
22-year-old
your
10th
license
grader.
is on the line
But
for it.
they
So anytime
still
state comes
moving them
in,
up.
you are going to have to go ahead and fire me because my license is on the line.
And you can't have a 22-year-old 10th grader, man.
Yes, you can.
You can?
That's what I'm saying. I already know you don't know what you're saying.
A 22-year-old
Yes,
10th
you
grader?
can.
That's crazy.
21 here in Little
The
Rock.
thing about it
But it can't
is-
be in the 10th grade.
No, yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
22?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a full-grown 30-year-old in 9th grade. So because
That wasn't
they
a
didn't
substitute
decide
teacher?
what happened.
That wasn't a coach.
Look, wait a minute. How did he finally?
Because coming over here, he didn't have that. He
Came
would,
from somewhere.
Yeah.
But they got adult
Yeah, but the
landing
thing,
school for that, don't they?
They do have an adult. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to go through the route that you didn't know. Yeah.
So they don't. So they just push them through.
Some push them through, others
most-
hold them
Now, what's the
Most-
alternative
most
learning
class-
thing? I didn't.
Okay.
Where they send them to? They still stay in the
They
same
send to
school.
an alternative school.
This is
No, they have an alternative.
Yeah.
in Arkansas, you know they're going to push them through. They're not going to keep them in.
It's not just Arkansas.
It's all of them.
It's all over.
Wait a
the
minute,
it's an
But I'm just talking.
epidemic is
I'm
what
just
the,
talking. I'm talking
article
about
that
right.
If it's
recently
public
came out.
school,
Right.
Hey,
all
if
public
you-
schools got the same
But if
guidelines.
you, but if you really want to know a good movie to watch, Waiting for Superman. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. The name of the movie is called Waiting for Superman. It's actually more like a documentary, and it actually goes from elementary, middle school, high school. It talks about how a kid can come out of elementary school, a 5th grader can be reading on a 7th grade level. When he gets through middle school, as an 8th grader, he's still reading on a 7th grade
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
level. That's scary. That's why I pulled my son out of
I'm
public
happy
school.
that he
But-
actually made
And
it
I'm,
to 2nd grade.
Now, am I
I'm
wrong?
about to really make some people mad. I pulled my kid out of middle school in public school and paid the extra money to put him in private school because I did not want that to happen. I refused to
I
let
have a
that
question.
happen.
Do y'all think that this occurs in private schools?
I don't know if it. I don't know if it does, but even if it does, in private school there's a higher
chance.
there's a
in
there's a
private
higher
school you can raise hell because it's your money.
it's your money.
And you can ask questions. How come my child this, and this? In the public school, they were like, "Well, we got to have a meeting and get his teachers together, and so call us next
Well,
week."
don't you think that's just the parent, whether they care about it or not? If the parent don't care about the kid coming home learning and doing this lesson, and
Well, how I'm gonna care if my kid learn if I ain't learned?
And then I hate the term lazy parent because you have some parents that aren't lazy.
They ain't lazy,
They
just
do-
embarrassed.
or they working 2 and 3, 4 jobs. You have a husband and wife, or whatever. Mom and dad both working 2 jobs. Okay, who has time to be with the kids?
you're gonna have to make time.
Got to.
You have
You
to
make time for what's important.
There
You
you go.
do, but when license get
Don't-
shot,
Okay,
Look,
I got
look,
2,
no.
3 jobs. How am I gonna make time to help a child do something that I don't know how to do?
Look at you.
Look, my thing about it is, watch this. I got that. That's easy. You ended up, you take a little bit money, or you go over to the college, you get a person that's interning to be a student, to be a teacher, and you get them to teach the child. They do it for free, and they get credit
Well, they
for it.
probably
in the
won't
college.
do it for
Well,
free.
how
No,
they
no,
know
no,
the
no. They
resources.
do it for free, and you can go to UCA, you can go to all the colleges around here, and they can get credit for helping teach your child in math, English, and whatever. There's always a resource. There's always a way to do it. Wait a minute. It's about the parent getting off their ass and doing something about
How
it.
do they not know that?
But here's the
How do you-
here's
how
the
do I
thing.
know?
Hey,
You
I
seek.
I played
Seek. You
I
probably
I
played
ain't got time to seek.
I played
got
ball
time
in
to
college.
see.
No, when I get off
We
that
had
job,
to-
I gotta go to
Wait a
that job. I gotta
minute,
feed
wait
the
a minute,
kids.
wait
I
a
gotta
minute,
do
wait a
all
minute,
this.
Watch
Ball players,
this.
that
Watch
too.
this. When you at work, you got time to get up on Facebook and to talk and send a text.
No,
If
not
you
where I
do-
work at. Not where I work at. We on the assembly line. You got to be on it. You got to be on it. If you got 30 minutes for lunch, you
Watch
eat
this.
that lunch. You
30
get
minute
back.
Wait, I got that 30-minute lunch break. That's time enough to make a phone call to get the.
Oh no, I got to
resources.
eat. I ain't got
Well,
time. I got
there
to
he
eat.
is.
I gotta-
That's the
He
point.
does have a point.
Look, I digress.
I gotta
Look,
get my
look,
look.
He
I'm on
does
my
have a
feet.
point.
Look, I'm on my feet. First of all, I don't have all that you're talking about. I don't have Facebook.
You don't have his phone?
I don't have Facebook. I have a phone, but I don't know about Facebook.
Okay,
I'm
you
old
don't
school
know-
parent.
Okay, but you have
Struggling
a phone.
to take care of my
You still have a
grandkids plus my
phone?
kids.
Dude, they had phones for a long time. They got cell phones.
Everybody ain't cell phone literate.
Right. But then you talking about making time for the
you
child.
still have you got to be able to get. You can go to a phone book and get the information you need.
A what?
Man, come on, see, you're trying to play it.
No, a phone. Oh, when the last time you see somebody pick up a phone book
Exactly. So they're gonna get it off of what?
Google.
for somebody telling them? They not. They
But
don't know
that means
nothing about
that
the
they have to do
meeting.
what? They have to ask.
They ain't gonna ask nobody nothing. They gonna be complaining,
They
and
not
somebody
gonna
might
ask-
volunteer the information.
They not gonna
But other than
ask
that, it
nobody
ain't finna happen.
nothing.
Going back to, do kids need to be in college?
Depending on
Depending on what they
The specialized
what they're
field.
going for.
Yeah.
No, some of them do, some of them don't. Your specialized field, some students,
Doctors,
some kids, some people do
lawyers.
not need to go to college.
You don't need to go to college to be a
For-
fireman or a
Buxton
police
didn't go to
officer.
college and he owns 5-10 radio stations. He didn't go to college,
That-
and he's a millionaire.
Y'all were
And
talking
it
about
was
stuff
evident.
that
It
to
was
me-
evident.
It was
he didn't-
evident
Wait a minute,
that
wait
he
a
didn't
minute,
go to college.
Yeah, but y'all talk about things that don't relate to me. I mean, you're talking about
We know,
somebody-
Tom.
You're talking about Jimmy John, somebody that became a millionaire because they didn't go to college or because they just went ahead and did their
They
business.
went
they
into
were
their
focused
field.
They went-
on what they were
Well,
focused
they
on.
went-
they went into
not
what the
into-
field.
They went into a passion or career they had. They didn't really go per se into their field. They just got interest, got some opportunities, whatever, and just rolled with that. That's fine. But
Doesn't
y'all,
that turn into a career after you
Well,
do that
even
for
if
how
it turns
long?
into a career, what does that have to do with going to
Why
college?
do y'all have to frown when y'all talk? Cause like, he got
No,
the little
because,
frown
well,
going.
because,
He-
because y'all are associating
They can't help
with
how they
going
look,
to
man.
college as if
That's wrong.
that's passe, that it's not going to provide them any knowledge or basis for them to do X or whatever. And there's some kids.
Well, the only reason why I brought it up,
Yeah.
and let me tell you why I brought it up, is because when I spoke with a college professor, the college professor said, education is the biggest, and it's on the Democratic platform. Education is the biggest scam by the government because they give you money to go to school, and then you spend the rest of your life trying to pay them back.
Your APR is
It's a scam.
24.99%.
Wait a minute. I can agree.
It's
with,
a scam.
I can agree with that, but I still think for a lot of kids and a lot of opportunities will come up for them by going to college.
Well, you can
That's
learn
why I
a
said
lot.
K through 22
Well,
is really what needs it. Kindergarten through 22, because that's really when they'll understand and get a gist of what they really
With the
want
real-
to do.
and see,
Because
but-
you won't have any. You won't have.
so you say
like your
K through
son.
22
You
in
wait till-
school?
I'm working in the
Yeah.
field
From
that I
K
always
to
wanted
22?
to be in.
Yeah, but see, I see a lot of
Public
kids now in
Well-
college. And even out of college, working over at
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, they don't know what. Look,
Right.
they don't know what
That's
they
what
want to
I'm-
do.
exactly.
Yeah, but they're 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, 38.
Who didn't
and
This
they
is the
don't-
deal. With
Wait a
college,
minute,
you
and
still
they
don't know.
still
If
don't
you-
know what they want to do.
If you are not
you have to choose
focused.
a mentor too.
if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you want to do,
That's right.
you are not suitable for college. When you go to college, you know what you want to do. You know how you're gonna get there. You focus on that thing.
That's what I did.
So if you
I
don't,
knew
if you
I
don't
wanted
know
somebody
that,
to work in
Broadcast.
McDonald's.
I
I knew
if
what
you
I
don't know
wanted to
that,
do.
you don't go.
Right.
But I was listening to I didn't. So you talking about regular school being from kindergarten to 22nd grade.
No,
I
to
almost
tw-
made that. I almost made
22.
K through 22.
I almost made
What do you
that.
mean when you say 22?
grade 22.
It needs to be that long.
That because of the way that the schools are set up now, public school system. The way that the public school system, that No Child Left Behind
who
has a
gon-
whole.
Who gonna
gap.
feed them at? Who gonna feed them at 21 at the
Well,
house?
we're feeding them right now in jail.
Ow.
Your taxpayer dollars are paying for it.
Even if
Well,
they're
you know
not in
what?
jail, they're at home.
Yeah,
but
that's
you know
what
what?
I wanna
Instead of
avoid
going
them
through
from
K
being
to
at my
22, just go back to the old school where they teach a trade and education.
Well, they do.
Yeah,
They
No, they
do.
don't.
Still do that.
They still.
Where they do that at?
Yeah, they do that at a lot of schools.
No, see, no,
My dad
no,
was
no,
a- my dad was a farmer and a bricklayer.
Children
I
just
can
do
still do
not
that.
choose to
no,
do
no.
it.
But see, that was just it. You didn't have a choice. You had to take one trade class.
See?
There wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
You
I-
had to take a trade
We
class.
had to take a trade, like start. I mean,
There wasn't-
even
you
with
didn't have a
my-
choice.
my grade.
It's Pine Bluff.
Well,
You had to take a trade class plus your regular class. You had
Either
to.
that or-
There wasn't a choice.
Pine Bluff is either that or Gunnery.
I did. I mean, I still had my rights.
Incoming.
I gotta stop. People from Pine Bluff will be mad at us, man.
Yeah, but they gonna have a gun.
Anyway, leave my hometown alone.
With that being said,
Just put
Man.
that back in there.
hope you enjoyed the topic this week. We'll come back next week.
Oh,
with
wait a
another
minute.
one.
Wait, I thought we had another topic we were talking
No,
about.
we
That's it.
just kind of talked about last week a little bit, and we move forward.
Okay.
All right.
You digress.
You
Give
digress
him a
again.
pillow or something to hug.
Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.